The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUL for life. We are IUL.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Today on One. In the news tonight, chronic wounds prevent disabled girl from attending school. More than 200 participants joined the Free Car Day initiative. Namibia ranked amongst top 10 largest diamond producing nations. Government lays groundwork to support women-owned businesses. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the Weather. First up, a 22-year-old disabled learner from One Nation informal settlement in Ombili who has taken a break from school to allow her chronic wound on her bottom to heal finds it difficult to participate in online classes because she cannot afford data to connect her to the internet.
It is past 10 o'clock in the morning, and while fellow learners in the settlement are at school, Teresia Ndilimeke Kainda, a grade 10 learner at Hagagenkop High School, has been home for a month nursing a wound that she has had for 4 years and it is refusing to heal. Kainda suffers from spina bifida, and as a result, she uses crutches to walk and wears nappies as she does not feel when her body wants to relieve itself. She also suffers from hydrocephalus, which causes fluids to accumulate in her head, so a shunt was inserted in her brain to release the building up of fluids.
I'm diagnosed with a spinal bifida, and I am actually born with it. And I've been battling with this condition for 22 years now. Yeah, I'm actually fighting it off. Sometimes it comes as a tough game where like I can't do chores, cook, clean, like make heavy things. Like it only permits me to do light things. It actually developed in 2019. Yeah, because now like 4 years. Yeah. So it's not like healing. It's something. When I went to the hospital, they said it's a bad wound caused by a pressure. Like I applied too much pressure when I'm sleeping on my bed. So they just said it's a bad wound and it's caused by me sleeping on my back for too long or sitting for too long. I don't know. And also, some say it's because I'm wearing nappies due to the condition I have a spinal bifida. Because at the time I can only be able to afford, me and my parents can be able to afford Pampers, which is for a smaller baby, and then as I'm growing, it made a cut.
The young woman struggles to cover all her needs with the 1,250 Namibia dollars disability grant she receives from government. She carefully has to split the money monthly among 3 packs of nappies, which are not enough, as well as taxi fare to go to school. With what little cash remains, she needs to purchase food, as she has a strict diet and toiletries. The monthly grant to Kainda does not allow for her to buy data to access her study material online. Despite her condition, Kainda is full of life and dreams of becoming a social worker, as she believes that she can heal people who are going through emotional pain with her words. She recently participated in the Girl Coding Camp, where she won a tablet after coming up with an idea of creating a walking cane that detects objects in front of disabled people. The never-healing wound, however, prolongs Kainda from achieving her dreams.
I'm currently in grade 10 and I stopped in, if I'm not wrong, is it August? Yeah? Yeah, so I'm actually now a month down due to the wound. And also last year, I was a month down because of the wound. I had to get online teaching, and then it's also hectic because of the data. I miss that a lot because of data. Sometimes I don't have data, so maybe when a teacher sends me something, I am not able to get it on time unless I get data. So I'm kind of I am not really like catching up on the race.
Sylvia Kapunda, Teresia's mother, a self-employed tailor, pleads for assistance from any good Samaritan so that her daughter can pursue her dream of becoming a social worker.
Only if we can get assistance to buy diapers, which will enable her to change as often because the wound doesn't like moist. And while at home, my daughter has online classes, but she's unable to attend classes because we can't afford to buy data.
Kayinda, who lives by the quote, "There is light at the end of every tunnel," stated that if she was given 40 minutes to change anything in the world, she would alter fellow handicapped people's mentality so that they are more positive.
This is my favorite gear. Nivea Men Black and White Deo, with 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try SA's #1 anti-stain deodorant.
There are thousands of reasons to smile with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, where you can win instant cash for what you want most. Plus, get amazing savings like Cross & Blackwell Tangy Mayonnaise for only $36.99 or Koo Baked Beans in tomato sauce for just $12.49. Win your share of thousands in cash instantly with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, only at Spar.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
The city of Windhoek held its first Car-Free Day campaign, which is aimed at promoting environmentally friendly forms of transportation in the city and to raise public awareness on air pollution caused by the increase in vehicles. The mayor's day governors led the celebration as city employees and residents walked and cycled from Kommersdal to the city centre.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Held under the theme Reducing Carbon Footprint, the event saw over 200 participants take part. The participants started at the City of Windhoek Kommersdal Customer Center and finished at the City of Windhoek head office in town. Those who took part were urged to leave their cars at home in efforts to reduce carbon dioxide and air pollution.
The Windhoek Car-Free Day campaign is part of an awareness campaign on carbon emissions and ways to reduce our carbon footprint. Residents are encouraged to embrace the use of alternative transport modes other than the use of their private vehicles. The campaign aims to address and encourage greener forms of transportation, increase public awareness on air pollution caused by transport, draw attention to the major pollutants released by vehicles, showcase the benefits of alternative modes of transportation, calculate the amount of CO2 reduced by the City of Windhoek employees, and to raise awareness on the non-motorized transportation lanes. I'm sure a lot of people, when we did the bicycle lanes last year, obviously there was a lot of criticism. But I think any change takes time and it is inevitable. Where would we have started if we do not start at where we can with what we have to encourage our residents to start cycling? Let us not only focus on the negatives. How many cones are in the roads? Those core cones, disrupt my driving, but there is a reason as to why certain things are done the way they are done at that specific time. And later on, there will be a story told. And you remember those councillors in 2021? They put cones in our streets, but later on, 10, 20 years from now, our residents would be comfortable cycling on those lanes.
City of Windhoek Acting Chief Executive Officer O'Brien Hekanjo said air pollution is one of the factors that contribute to global warming and respiratory diseases such as lung cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, and the statistics are concerning.
Air quality is highly compromised by human activities such as burning coal, diesel, construction work, and even natural events like forest fires, as we have seen, that are raging around Windhoek. Air pollution, pollutants, in particular greenhouse gases, contribute greatly to global warming and subsequently climate change. Air pollution can take an extreme toll on health and contribute to respiratory disease, cancer, and other life-threatening conditions. Health issues related to air pollutants are now well documented, and the statistics are concerning. The United Nations reports that air pollution is a leading cause of many killers that is.
The participants received awards at the end of the race and certificates of participation.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Nivea Pearl and Beauty with pearl extracts for soft and beautiful underarms. Your trusted deodorant with the perfect balance of protection and care. Enriched with the power of pearls. Nivea Pearl and Beauty for soft and beautiful underarms. New Nivea Pearl and Beauty Black Pearl coming soon.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 5th of October. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, 2 for $99.99 per pack and 1 for $109.99. Buy Nivea Roll-On 3 for $63. And exclusive to Club Card members, buy Huggies Gold Disposable Nappies Jumbo Pack, now $231.99 per pack. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
Great combo deal from Choppies! Choppies, great value for your money.
Namibia is one of the 10 largest diamond-producing countries, ranking 7th in terms of volume and in second place when it comes to value. This was said by the Deputy Director of Diamond Affairs within the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Mina Gatu, during an engagement session with the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Natural Resources.
Mina Gahutu says in 2022, contribution to royalties from diamond sales and export earnings is projected to increase from 1.1 billion Namibian dollars to 1.4 billion Namibian dollars, which account for 25% of Namibia's total exports, adding that the diamond industry has 11 active polishing factories, which employ over 900 employees on average.
Namibia is one of the 10 largest producing countries. In terms of value, we rank number 7, and in terms of value, we rank number 2, and in terms of volume, we rank number 7. Yes, 7. Yeah. So we have been producing diamonds for the past 114 years, and we produce gem quality diamonds, which have been major producers or contributors to the GDP of the economy, both in terms of taxes and royalties. Members, as you are aware, the tax contribution from diamonds is 55%, whereas the royalty rate contribution is 10% of the sales value. Similarly, in 2022, the contribution to royalties have been projected to increase from 1.1 billion to 1.4 billion from diamond sales. The diamond export earnings account for 25% of the total exports. Therefore, government did not look at these developments silently, and in 1994, right after independence, government decided to leave a proportion of our diamonds in the country to be beneficiated, in simple terms, for value addition, thereby creating jobs, skills, and technology.
The ministry's mining commissioner, Erasmus Shivolo, said the mining industry is one of the main contributors to the economy and furthers employment creation in Namibia significantly. Shivolo further proposed amendments to the Minerals Bill, calling for the regulation of the mining industry in an effective and efficient manner to make the mining industry more attractive for investment and derive maximum benefit from mineral resources.
The figures are anywhere between 11 and 14, 15 for the last 4 or 5 years for the GDP, and about 50% on export earnings. We would like to see that the industry is regulated in an effective and efficient manner, and to make the industry more attractive to investment, and further to derive maximum benefits to the Namibian people. To do that, we wish to streamline and harmonize the Act with other relevant national and regional and international legislations, policies and best practices. We have realized that there are gaps between different legislations, and therefore the necessity to link them together so that they talk to one objective, and that is of growing the cake for the economy.
Shivolo added that the ministry is considering inputs from local and regional stakeholders, and meetings will be conducted to solicit input for incorporation into the Minerals Bill.
There are thousands of reasons to smile with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, where you can win instant cash for what you want most. Plus, get amazing savings like Huggies Dry Comfort Nappies Value Pack for only $159.99 or 3 kg Sunlight Hand Washing Powder for just $79.99. Win your share of thousands in cash instantly with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, only at Spar.
There are data deals, and then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial *130 *780#. and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes, and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only $185 Namibian excluding VAT. T's and C's apply.
Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
The Ministry of Finance is working on a procurement policy that will benefit women-owned agriculture businesses. The Deputy Executive Director of the Procurement Policy Unit, Francois Brandt, explains that the soon-to-be implemented policy will empower female agriculturalists to get first preference on the market before import becomes an option.
Brand made these remarks at the Women in Agriculture Summit today in Windhoek, highlighting that procurement policies work on a 50-50 basis to promote gender equality. However, he says bidding avenues need to be made available for every female farmer to have a place in the market.
The other reason I'm here today, especially speaking to the women in agriculture, is because, as you might be aware, we are going to issue a code of good practice quite soon. The code of good practice is a preferential procurement policy. So as you know, in our Act, we allow for certain procurements to receive and categories to receive certain forms of preferences. One is that if it's produced locally, we procure it locally. But one of the factors that we've identified is that there are different categories of Namibians that through different forms of legislation, whether it's the Article 23 in the Constitution or whether it is the Public Procurement Act, there are certain categories that we would try to provide a bit more of a preference when we are procuring. So they include women, youth, MSMEs, previously disadvantaged, manufacturers, and I think those with environmentally friendly practices as required. So, with that being said, when we issue this code of good practice, I'm hoping for October, but let's say November, it's a tool that will replace the local sourcing directive. So it will no longer exist, but it includes the ambitions of the local sourcing directive to say that if you produce beetroot locally, we're not allowed to buy it from an imported source. Okay, so we want to stimulate that local producing entities.
Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform's Executive Director, Ndiakupi Nyituamata, in her keynote address, says that the pivotal role of women in agriculture is to ensure that the culture of eating from one's own house, in this case local produce, lives on. Nyituamata is of the opinion that women need to take up a leadership position in the agri-sector.
It was a woman who first domesticated crop plants and thereby initiated the art and science of farming, while men were out hunting in search of food. While they were hunting in search of food, we told ourselves we cannot fold our hands and wait for that meat. That's where we innovated crop farming. Therefore, this statement entails that women are major producers of food, earners of household income and custodian of knowledge. Despite the role women play in agriculture, they are constrained by lack of involvement in decision-making. Agriculture is one of the most important sectors that contributes to the economy of Namibia. The majority of Namibia's population, which we say about 70%, is depending directly or indirectly on the agricultural sector for their livelihood, and the majority of smallholder farmers are women. We have seen that on the video. However, the country's arid climate and geographical conditions do not favor dryland crop farming, and the crop varieties are limited.
We have now started doing some audits on this matter together with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Home Affairs, and we will attempt to do Ministry of Defence as well, because they are the four biggest procuring when it comes to locally produced food, especially for the food tenders that are in the market. And so in the future we will hope to publish these reports as well. We are publishing our compliance audit on our website. We are publishing the review panel orders, all in line with the ambitions of transparency and for the public to hold us accountable. Now, local sourcing, we believe, has great potential. Around the world, especially in developing countries, government public procurement can contribute as much as 30% to your gross domestic product. And therefore, we have to utilize every public procurement opportunity in a way to support our government ambitions, whether it is to create jobs, whether it is to stimulate manufacturing, or whether it's to stimulate our agricultural economy.
Brandt notes that the policy will ensure that whatever is locally available on the market will not be imported, guaranteeing that Namibian branded products make it onto shelves. Nituamata says women-owned farms and businesses in Africa are the backbone of production, contributing significantly to household investment and community resilience.
Back in the day, Susie's phone used to ring like a hotline. She was the most popular girl in town. But since she did not register her SIM card with her mobile service provider, her phone does not ring anymore. She has tried to get something similar. She has tried this and that number, but it has never been the same. So now, she has a reputation of being a number hoarder. Instead of just registering her SIM at her mobile service provider and keeping her number. Excuse me one sec. Hello? No, this isn't Susie. Have you tried her other number?
Don't miss out on important communications like Susie. Register your SIM to keep your number. Visit www.cran.na.
There are thousands of reasons to smile with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, where you can win instant cash for what you want most. Plus, get amazing savings like Huggies Dry Comfort Nappies Value Pack for only $159.99 or 3 kg Sunlight Hand Washing Powder for just $79.99. Win your share of thousands in cash instantly with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, only at Spar.
In other leading stories, Pupkewitz Motors this week sponsored 28 printers to schools in the Khomas, Omaheke, Oshotunjupa, Hardap, Herongo, Oshikoto, Omusati, Ohangwena and Oshana regions. At two ceremonial handovers in Windhoek and Oshakati, key stakeholders such as Schumann's Office Systems were also in attendance. The primary partner availed their expertise in terms of servicing and delivery of the 28 printers countrywide. The occasion also saw Pupkewitz senior management, dealer principals for the different brands under the Pupkewitz Motors umbrella, and representatives from the various schools as the guests of honor. Farushka de la Harp, head of marketing and communications for Pupkewitz Motors, said the corporate and the private sectors at large have a responsibility to actively participate in the upliftment of communities for a better tomorrow and ensuring that each individual at the end of the day is a responsible Namibian citizen, which in turn can positively contribute to the economic well-being of Namibia as a whole.
Prevent cramps with Fabifarm's new MVA Cramp Stop. Developed to bring fast and effective relief from cramps in athletes, active people and senior citizens. Manufactured in Namibia, Fabifarm's MVA Cramp Stop contains a carefully selected blend of vitamins and essential minerals to prevent cramps with a full month supply of capsules. It's Fabifarm's new MVA Cramp Stop, your #1 choice in cramp prevention. Now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide.
Choose boldness and celebrate the skin you're in with Nivea Rich Nourishing. Our triple layered care of deep moisture serum, natural almond oil, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Choose to wear your skin with pride with Nivea Rich Nourishing.
Now let's cross over to the business section with Joseph Shifeni.
Welcome to Business on One. The United Entrepreneurs Association of Namibia, in conjunction with Startup SADC, will host its first ever Southern African Development Community Business and Exhibition Conference in Swakopmund after next week, from the 3rd to the 4th of October. During the two-day event, the coastal town is expected to attract about 200 entrepreneurs and business influencers from more than 8 SADC countries, with the aim of enhancing their networking opportunities and collaborative efforts.
The UEAN was created last year in September to represent entrepreneurs challenged by socio-economic difficulties in the country, and has collaborated with Startup SADC to strengthen efforts to promote free trade in the region. Speaking at a media conference in the capital, UEAN Vice Chairperson Regina Ambambi outlined the aims and objectives of the association.
It is therefore natural for us as United Entrepreneurs Association of Namibia to welcome this project, as we are keen on working towards making and contributing towards the creation of a better African society. The aims and objectives of Startup SADC conference are to increase the promotion of trades among member states, to create an annual platform to discuss the challenges and issues affecting entrepreneurs in the SADC region, to create a platform for in-depth discussion where issues affecting entrepreneurs and businesses in the SADC region are exposed, to highlight commercial opportunities in the SADC region aimed at benefiting entrepreneurs and business people alike, to develop a database of stakeholders critical to the economic development in SADC, to create a networking platform for entrepreneurs from member states with the aim of enhanced collaborative relationships. It is our considered hope that with this conference we'll be able to increase our trade volumes by encouraging relaxed border trade control systems and improving the ease of doing business across borders. Topics to be covered and discussed at this conference will range from women and youth as enablers of cross-border trade, barriers to trade within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Areas, technology and digitalization as an enabler to increase trade, and how banking system can be used to support entrepreneurs in accelerating increased trade between countries, to mention but a few.
Founder and chairperson of Startup SADC, Mose Remy, expressed optimism about the joint venture with their Namibian counterpart, stating that the SADC region needs to unite.
He said entrepreneurship is its ability to identify problems that you can solve in the midst of confusion. When everybody is crying foul about the economic and whatever situation, that's where you rise as an entrepreneur. But I'm not there. So that's the reason I sat down and said to Lawrence, what can we do for SADC? That is not mine and that is not yours, but for the entire generation that is coming. Then that is when the Startup SADC concept was born. It's not a unique, people are doing it elsewhere, just that it's not available here.
And now we can also push the policy making and push the policies that favors us as entrepreneurs in terms of facilitating the free trade agreement that we are talking about. So this is where the Startup SADC is coming in. It's more like a research that we are going to do for the African, the Ministry of Trade in all the SADC member states, that we are going to give to them. This is what we think, and come ease on policies when it comes to entrepreneurs. And if anyone wants to be part of the Startup SADC, you can go on our website, startupsadec.org, and they can get to hear more about registration, and they become part of the Startup SADC.
Delivering a speech on behalf of the Minister of Trade and Industrialization, Lucia Ipumbu, who is the patron of the association, Deputy Minister Verna Shinumbu welcomed the initiative.
Since the upcoming SADC conference is the first of its kind in Namibia, we as a ministry are in support of this great initiative and commend the founders of this groundbreaking undertaking. I'm informed that the Startup SADC is an entrepreneurship forum and business forum for emerging and established entrepreneurs in SADC region. I just came back from Tanzania, where we had a conference on women and youth in trade, and cross-border barriers or challenges really came out very, very strong, because we are trying to come up with a protocol that is talking specifically on women and youth. And these are some of the issues that should come out, like the cross-border challenges that are there at the moment. The ministry applauds the hard work and commitment displayed by the leadership of the United Entrepreneurs Association of Namibia in conjunction with the founders of Startup SADC in South Africa and Botswana. And we commit to support them in meeting their objectives. I was also informed that about 150 to 200 delegates are expected to come to Namibia from all over SADC region and other parts of Africa. I was also told that the expedition of Namibian products and other products from within the SADC region will also be displayed, which is a welcome development in showcasing various products from the SADC region.
Shinumbu also encouraged Namibian entrepreneurs to take part in this opportunity, as it will add value to their business journey.
The clock has struck for your daily business and financial news update. Brought to you by The Brief.
Pick n Pay Namibia has ruled out plans to launch an additional supermarket brand in the country to cater for middle-income market consumers due to market size and cost implications. This comes as the regional supermarket chain recently launched its QualiSave brand in South Africa as part of the retailer's strategy to split its stores into two brands, with the original Pick n Pay serving more affluent customers. In South Africa, the retail group engaged in an enormous amount of research to understand exactly what customers want and need, interviewing more than 7,000 people in October and November 2021, as well as large-scale data accumulation and interpretation of product sales and trends. Minister of Finance Ipumbu Shimi has tabled the cheque bill in Parliament to mark a final end of cheques as a mode of payment. The system was phased out in June 2019, but was still lacking a legal basis to back its abolishment. Shimi, explaining the basis, said the key reasons for the banking industry's decision to phase out cheques were that cheques have proven to be a risky payment instrument due to being highly susceptible to fraud relative to other payment instruments such as cards and electronic funds transfer or EFT. Other underlying factors were that cheques were becoming increasingly expensive and inefficient payment instruments, both from an operational and infrastructure point of view.
This was your daily Namibian business and financial news update. For in-depth stories, read more on thebrief.com.na now.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to join us again next time, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 5th of October. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper, 18 rolls, 2 for $99.99 per pack and 1 for $109.99. Buy Nivea Roll-On 3 for $63. And exclusive to Club Card members, buy Huggies Gold Disposable Nappies Jumbo Pack, now $231.99 per pack. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
This is my favorite gear. Nivea Men Black and White Deo with 5 times Deo action to protect you and your favorite gear from stains. Try SA's #1 anti-stain deodorant.
There are data deals. And then there are Telecom Namibia data deals. And if you want the biggest data deal of all, you gotta get 31-day Jiva, which comes with a massive 50 gigs of data. Is it even possible to use 50 gigs of data in a month? You tell us. You also get 1,000 voice minutes and 400 SMSs. To get your hands on 31-day Jiva, dial *130*780# and enjoy a month of mega data. Whoa, that's a lot of data, minutes and SMS. How much is that? Must be expensive. No, it's only 185 Namibian dollars excluding VAT. T's and C's apply. Telecom Namibia.
Sharing your world.
Back in the day, Susie's phone used to ring like a hotline. She was the most popular girl in town. But since she did not register her SIM card with her mobile service provider, her phone does not ring anymore. She has tried to get something similar. She has tried this and that number, but it has never been the same. So now, she has a reputation of being a number hoarder. Instead of just registering her SIM at her mobile service provider and keeping her number. Excuse me one sec. Hello? No, this isn't Susie. Have you tried her other number?
Don't miss out on important communications like Susie. Register your SIM to keep your number. Visit www.cran.na.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian, from protecting our homes to fighting injustices. We still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
There are thousands of reasons to smile with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, where you can win instant cash for what you want most. Plus, get amazing savings like Huggies Dry Comfort Nappies Value Pack for only $159.99 or 3 kg Sunlight Hand Washing Powder for just $79.99. Win your share of thousands in cash instantly with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, only at Spar.
The Black People Economic Emancipation Association, an organization led by activists Noyoma and Amushelelo, seeks to attract over 50,000 entrepreneurs and unemployed youth to join their association. Lam said the idea is good, but aligning it to racial exclusion means it could fail. Simon said nowadays everyone is starting his or her own thing. Dangi said the initiative is commendable but promotes racism. Delta said he welcomes the idea. Jerry dared fellow Namibians to invest. And that's it from Comments Corner. Please continue engaging with us on our stories for broadcast on Today on 1.
Nivea Pearl and Beauty with pearl extracts for soft and beautiful underarms. Your trusted deodorant with the perfect balance of protection and care. enriched with the power of pearls. Nivea Pearl and Beauty for soft and beautiful underarms. New Nivea Pearl and Beauty Black Pearl coming soon.
Prevent cramps with Fabufarm's new MVA Cramp Stop. Developed to bring fast and effective relief from cramps in athletes, active people and senior citizens. Manufactured in Namibia, Fabufarm's MVA Cramp Stop contains a carefully selected blend of vitamins and essential minerals to prevent cramps. With a full month supply of capsules, it's Fabufarm's new MVA Cramp Stop, your #1 choice in cramp prevention. Now available at all leading pharmacies countrywide.
There are thousands of reasons to smile with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, where you can win instant cash for what you want most. Plus, get amazing savings like Cross & Blackwell Tangy Mayonnaise for only $36.99 or Koo Baked Beans in tomato sauce for just $12.49. Win your share of thousands in cash instantly with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, only at Spar.
Choose boldness and celebrate the skin you're in with Nivea Rich Nourishing. Our triple layered care of deep moisture serum, natural almond oil, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Choose to wear your skin with pride with Nivea Rich Nourishing.
Time now for sports with Castro Lumbu.
Good evening and welcome to Sports on One. I am your host, Castro Ulumbu. Namibia's Olympic silver medalist Christine Mboma might have had an injury setback in May this year, but she is back in full swing. Following the conclusion of their 2022 athletics season at the Birmingham Commonwealth Games in August this year, Coach Hank Botha and his athlete Christine Mboma are looking forward to the new athletics season, which kicks off on the 23rd of April next year. Prominent national athletics coach and the head coach of Namibia's very own teenage sprinting sensation Christine Mboma explained to Sports on One why she ended her athletics season after the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England, which took place from the 28th of July to the 8th of August 2022. He was speaking to Sports on One telephonically from the United States of America, where he is currently attending an athletics coaching course.
Obviously, Christine is now resting. She's 100% fit. After we returned from Commonwealth, we had a look at the Diamond Leagues. The Diamond Leagues, unfortunately, only at 100 meters, so she couldn't qualify for the final. You need to run at least one Diamond League to qualify for the final. And then we also had a look at some of the events, and there was very, very little events with 200 meters in, and actually only the one that Beatrice ran in Switzerland was one of the few that was available. And cost effect, it was just not worth it going to Europe, run a race, and spend money to be there. So we sat together and we said those are not big races, and most of the runners have decided to finish their season. So we have finished our season. We trained up till the end of August, and then she went into a rest for September. Obviously, then we will prepare for the season for next year.
Mboma did not have the best 2022 season due to an injury she suffered during the Cape Kaino Classic meet in May. Botha, however, confirmed that the 2020 Tokyo 200-meter Olympic silver medalist is back to full fitness and that they are both optimistic ahead of the 2023 season.
So the season starts at the 29th of April with the Diamond Leagues, the first Diamond Leagues. We have earmarked some of the Diamond Leagues that we want to attend, and we've already sent out some indications that we are available. Obviously, it's on invitation, so they must invite us. And then we will do 1 or 2 local events and maybe look at Botswana again and at Kenya again. And then obviously the big target and the big plan is the World Championships in Hungary and Budapest. So we will definitely camp for at least a month before the championship starts, the World Championships. And our main focus will be firstly on the World Championship and secondly on qualifying for Paris Olympics. So that is basically our plan as it is now. She's in excellent condition. She's looking great again. Obviously, the preparation time for Commonwealth was just not enough. But at least she ran, and as she said, she did it for the country. And as far as myself, I'm busy with a course here and on coaching. And as soon as I'm back, we will definitely plan and have a great 2023.
Currently teenage sprinting sensation Christine Mboma is the first ever Namibian woman to win an Olympic medal, breaking the world under-20 and African senior record in the 200-meter track event. In 2021, Mboma concluded her bright season when she scooped the 200-meter track event Diamond League trophy in Zurich, Switzerland, ahead of Jamaica's Sherika Jackson. Thank you for watching. Catch us again tomorrow for more updates on Sports on One.
Thank you, Castro. Now let's have a look at tomorrow's weather forecast.
A look at the weather forecast. The interior will be partly cloudy and warm to hot in the Zambezi and Karas region, with a few odd showers in the extreme southwest. Elsewhere will be sunny and warm to hot. Windy weather will persist in the interior. The coast will be partly cloudy and mild. The wind moderate to fresh southerly to southeasterly.
That's all we have for you. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. From me, Isai Sipunga. Until next time, it's goodbye.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
I'd like to just explain to you a little bit about the formation of the Sea of Sand that we have in the Namib. What you can see now is just an overlay of a map, the Sea of Sand. We're just going to draw the rest of Southern Africa in here to give you a bigger perspective of where we are. We'll have Namibia over here. And we'll have South Africa below, Zimbabwe, Botswana and Mozambique on the outside. We are here in Swakopmund, and we've got a very small slither of dune field that you see here that's only 30 kilometers long, 5 kilometers wide, This is the major sea of sand, which includes Sossusvlei and Deadvlei, which goes into the south of the country and into northern South Africa there. So the beginning of the sea of sand that you see here today is in South Africa. We've got a very big mountain range here, known as the Drakensberg. And off the Drakensberg come lots of rivers and streams. The main river forming that we have to do with today is the Orange River. So millions of years worth of sand and sediments eroding down the mountain range into the Atlantic Ocean. In the Atlantic Ocean, we have the cold Benguela current. That keeps the ocean temperatures between 10 and 14 degrees Celsius through the year. So in the south of Namibia, we've got a little town called Ludritz Bay. Offshore from Ludritz, we have the South Atlantic anticyclone that generates the southwesterly wind 90% of the year along the coast of Namibia. So what happens? Sand is forced out into the ocean. The Benguela current takes that sand and forces it back onto the beach. So effectively you have a dune forming in the south of Namibia. But that dune must get to where it is today, and it is taken there by this anticyclone. So that anticyclone picks up the dry sand, slowly forces it inland over time. If you look at these dunes here, these are long lines of dunes. You can actually think of those as waves in the ocean moving inland with a ripple effect in this direction. Until there is a natural boundary in the eastern side, this is known as the Central Plateau, or the highland of Namibia. You can think of this as a wall going from south to north of Namibia. From the wall to the coast, there's a drop-off. So that'll be the definition of the whole coast from south to north, a very gradual slope. Off the drop-off is where we get all our dry river systems. It stops at the Central Plateau, the sand that moves with the wind. It cannot go any further, but it has to move somewhere. So this sand is still moving in a northerly fashion. It stops at the northern boundary, which is the dry Quisepe River system. And like all the other dry rivers, this only floods every 3 to 7 years. The river flushes and it takes down all that water back into the Atlantic Ocean. So this is an overspill of the major sea of sand. Eventually this should fill up. It will close off this Quisepe system. It'll look like a cut line, like the Tsondap River and the Tsauchap River. Eventually, the Swakop River will be the northern boundary. And then another dune field will start north of Swakop. It will fill up along the Omaruru, and eventually the Omaruru will take on the northern stance. The only time it will stop is when the source is finished. If the Drakensberg is completely flat, there will be no sand to send to grow our desert. But that's not a possibility in our new future. The Drakensberg is still very large. The oldest dunes are actually at the Namib Desert Lodge. Those are the petrified or fossil dunes. These are between 80 and 100 million years old. They reached the plateau first. They stopped there. With the press of water coming down the plateau over millennia, it pressed those into sandstone. So therefore now we have the fossil dunes, which are stable, and on the coast we still have the moving dunes.